Hello, I'm Edward Finstein, the wine doctor. If you like sipping wine, but you don't want to spend a lot of money, boy, have I got some tips for you. Listen to the wine doctor's 5 tips for drinking better for less. Number 1, pick regional wines. These are wines that are in specific countries, but they're more regional. There's more focus on the bottle. For instance, let's talk about France. You might pick Burgundy, Bordeaux. What this represents is a smaller region within the country, and the fruit is going to have a little more focus. Any wine that says product of a particular country means the fruit comes from the entire country. So the chances of that wine being spectacular are pretty slim. Number 2, pick varietally labeled wines. These are wines with grape varieties on the label. Chardonnay, Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot. Each of these grape varieties has indigenous character. And by picking varieties that are on the bottle, you'll actually get that taste in the bottle and you're guaranteed some pretty good sipping. Thirdly, you might pick Chateau domain bottle wines or estate bottle wines. What this indicates is that the fruit that went into making this wine came from one piece of property. Can you dig that? One little piece of property that actually created these wines. It's a real definition of that particular terroir and gives you a lot of distinct individuality. So remember, Chateau domain bottled or estate bottle wines will do that job for you. Try picking wines that are vintage dated. This is a wine with the year on the bottle, 1995, 2005. What this means is that all the fruit that went into making this wine came from a particular year's harvest. And generally, you're at the mercy of Mother Nature here because every growing season is different. But by using vintage charts, which are available throughout the world in websites and regional country websites, you can pick and choose wines from better years. A better vintage will say that the fruit that went into making that wine was better. Ultimately, the wine will be better. And this is particularly important if you want to age your wines. It's easier and better to age a wine from a better vintage than from a poor vintage. Finally, I would pick certain countries that naturally have good value for the dollar. South America's a real gem. Argentina, Chile, just abound with great quality wines. Try understated countries like Portugal, the Slavic countries, Bulgaria, Hungary, Slovenia, all produce spectacular wines of good value. Even some of the bigger, more boasting countries like Italy and France do a great job, but you have to know what to pick. For instance, Italy, you might pick IGT wines. This stands for Indicazione Geografica Tipica. Table wines with geographical descriptions, and there's some buttes in that case. In France, you might pick Vin de Pays. These are French country wines. The majority of them come from the south of the country. And within that category, you'll find Chateau bottled, vintage dated, and actually single vineyard wines. So this is some wonderful, wonderful product. If you know what you're doing, you can drink really reasonably. So let's go back over that. Number 1, regional wines. Number 2, Chateau or bottled, or Chateau or domain bottled wines, or estate bottle. Number 3, varietally labeled wines. Number 4, vintage dated wines. And number 5, look for countries that naturally represent great value for the dollar. If you like what you heard here, you can check me out every Wednesday at about 5:30 on Boom 97.3, formerly Easy Rock. Or check out my last award-winning wine book, Ask the Wine Doctor by McClellan and Stewart. I have 2 new books that are about to be published. One's called Have Wine Will Travel. It's a travelogue around the world. And the second one is called Pinot Envy. It's my first wine mystery novel. So remember, if you love wine, drink it in moderation because it's now part of a healthy lifestyle. Cheers.